Okay, guys, I'm going to try it again. Can you see? And can you hear me? Better? Okay, great. Great. Thank you. Hi, Nikita. Welcome, love. Hey, I got my package the other day. Thank you, love. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back, guys. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming back. I don't know what's going on with Periscope. You know how technology can be, right? Hi there, the QNU. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, guys. So I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to get back in. But welcome to the first of my Awaken Now series that I'll be doing every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Trini, for inviting followers. And 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. All right. So I'm going to turn around real quick so you can see me. I'm here. I hope I don't mess it up. There we go. Okay. Oh, no. Boy, technology really wants to mess with us tonight, huh? That's all right. That's all right. Come on. All right, so it won't turn around, so you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. Can you guys hear me? Thank you for inviting followers and sharing. Let me know you can hear me. Yes? Good. Good. Hi, Ryan. Welcome back. Yay. Okay. So we're talking about 4 steps to freedom. Eliminate habits that smother your dreams. And so I was talking about in our first take how it's difficult for us to break habits, right? Bad habits, especially the ones someone said that we love. And so I gave the example of, for me, I love eating, right? I love sweets. I love cookies, cake, candy. I love all things sweet. And so to break that habit is difficult for me because those are things that I love, right? Even though I know they're not the best for my waistline, they're not the best for, me trying to stay healthy, right? And so, Samantha, if you're on, make sure you keep track of my time for me. I don't want to go much past 30 minutes, right? Lord, touch technology so we can hear this message. Yes, thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much. So we know that we have some bad habits that are difficult for us to break, but it becomes very frustrating when it comes to habits that stand in the way of us accomplishing our dreams. That can be very frustrating, right? So like I said, when I'm trying to eat right and eat healthy and do what I'm supposed to do, a lot of times what used to happen to me in the past was if I didn't follow my plan, my eating plan the day before, right? The next day when I woke up, the first thought I would have would be, you didn't do what you were supposed to do yesterday, right? And so then having that thought first thing in the morning would set the stage for how the rest of the day would go. And basically what would end up happening is I would then say, well, you know what, messed up yesterday, might as well continue it today, right? So that's standing in the way of me accomplishing my dream of becoming healthy, right? And losing the extra pounds. And so what I had to learn was to recondition my mind so that I would not allow that thought to come in first thing in the morning. Even though they come, thoughts still come, but you have the control and the ability to accept or to reject the thoughts. And so I learned how to reject that thought first thing in the morning and replace it with, today is a new day. Today is, where I'm given new mercies and new glory, and I can set the tone for this day. This day, I will monitor my eating. I will make sure that, I do the things that I'm supposed to do. So it's all about reconditioning your mind. I'm your mindset lady, so it's all about that, right? And let me just start by also introducing myself, because I know some people came back that weren't here before. I am Valerie Priester, CEO and founder of Victorious Life Coaching, and I work with women to awaken their inner spirit and confidence, women who desire a whole life experience, one filled with peace, self-validating habits, joy, happiness, authenticity, and stability, right? I like that we have the ability to accept or reject the thought. Absolutely. Absolutely. You do not have to accept every thought that comes into your mind. Guys, do you understand and realize that you have, on average, 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day? 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day go through your mind. So you can see how it is so important for you to learn how to control your thoughts and control your mind with all of that going on, right? That's a lot of thoughts. And if you find out, through some of the exercises that I use with my clients, if you find out by, looking at your thoughts that you're having that 50% of your thoughts are negative, that can let you know why things are occurring in your life the way they are occurring, right? So that's why it's so important to get control of your thoughts and your mind. That's why everything starts in your mind. That's why I'm so passionate about helping you really understand how to renew your mind, recondition your mind, manage your thoughts so that you can have the life that you most desire, right? Bad thoughts, bad habits, all of that can stand in the way of you really accomplishing the dreams that you want in your life. So today I want to talk to you about 4 things, right? It is spiritual growth, absolutely. I want to talk to you about 4 things that are going to help you get to freedom so that you can eliminate these bad habits, okay? So when we think about the bad habits, right, all of us have what I call behavioral demons, okay? And if you guys know me, you know I don't like to really much, give the enemy any credit because he has no power. But we all have issues when it comes to our behavior and bad habits, okay? So whether it's looking at eliminating your debt, getting healthier, right? Stop smoking, stop drinking, any of the habits that you have, there's always that one challenge that we just cannot, or it seems like we cannot beat it. We cannot overcome it. But we know that that's a lie. We know that we are more than conquerors, right? But you can't tell him that. You must show him. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I show him every day, right? He trembles when I wake up in the morning. Hi, Terry Harrison. Welcome, welcome. He trembles every morning that I wake up because I show him every day that he has no control over my life, right? So no matter what this habit is, or these habits, you may have more than one, right? But most of the time it's a couple, or it's one that we just can't seem to overcome it. But we know that we can do that because we have the power to do that. So in many cases, the answer is really simple, right? But most people lack the awareness of it. And so here's the answer. We simply don't handle our stress, right? I'm enjoying your holy boldness. Yes, absolutely. Here's the answer. We don't handle our stress and our boredom in effective and healthy manners. Usually when we're dealing with bad habits, right? It's because we're either stressed or we're bored. How many times have you caught yourself, like you're working, and if you're an entrepreneur and you're working on your business, or even if you're at work, you're working a 9 to 5, you're working and you all of a sudden just get bored, right? And then the next thing you know, you're in the kitchen. I know that happens to me a lot, right? So you go and you get something to eat because you're really bored. Or, on the other hand, you're stressed. That happens to me a lot, right? And that's why we have the mindless habits that we create. And the more we do them, the more they become those habits that smother our dreams. So for me, I am so excited that I just signed the lease on my new office, and I'll be moving into that in February. That's going to help me control my eating as well, because now I'm not at home where I can just go down the hall to the kitchen every time I get stressed or every time I get bored, right? So that's kind of some of the things that you have to do. You have to put in new habits, because here's the thing. You cannot just stop a bad habit. You have to replace it. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that and giving you the 4 steps to freedom so that you can eliminate the habits that are smothering your dreams, right? Now, many of our bad habits are simply ways that we've learned to deal with being stressed and bored, like I said, right? If you were to think about being taught how to deal with negative feelings and unfortunate things that happen in your life, right? Being taught how to handle that the right way. If you think about that, you would find that it keeps you from creating these bad habits, right? But most of our parents weren't even taught how to deal with stress and unfortunate incidents and, you know, circumstances that happen in our lives that are unexpected. They weren't taught how to deal with it either. So that's why when you look back, you know, maybe even through your family history, you'll find that there's, you know, maybe cases of obesity. I know I had obesity in my family, right? You'll find that there's cases of even alcoholics because people turn to drinking. Some people may even turn to drugs. People turn to different things, right, to cope with the issues and the unexpected circumstances that go on in their lives. And so these bad habits we create because we practice them. A habit is nothing more than something that you practice over and over and over again, and it becomes routine. It becomes something that you just automatically turn to doing. Okay? So there are several things that I call, can you guys see that? Worthless behaviors, right? And these are behaviors that we tend to partake in on a regular basis that create the negative and the bad habits that are smothering our dreams. Okay, some of them are internet surfing, eating junk food, right? I talked about that. Watching TV more than a couple of hours a week. Nothing wrong with watching television, but it has its place and its time. Okay, drinking, biting your nails. You'll see people that, you know, partake in biting their nails because they're stressed or they're bored, right? Playing video games, shopping when you know you don't need anything. And here's the big one, procrastination. Procrastination is a behavior that will smother your dreams. Because if you're procrastinating doing the things that you know you need to do in order to move you forward and to move you into the dreams that you have to create, let's say if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to do, you know, trying to get your business going, absolutely, Samantha, it's a big one. Procrastination is a big one. And I believe on some level, we all procrastinate. And here's one of the biggest places where we do procrastinate is that we end up not doing the very thing that we know we need to do to move us forward, right? I'm so bad with that. Yeah, we all do it on some level. Either it's out of fear, right? Or it's out of feeling inadequate for whatever that task is that we, you know, we need to do. We feel like I don't know enough to do it, and we talk ourselves out of doing it. So on some level, I believe we all procrastinate at something, right? I'm right here. You can connect with me. Thank you so much. So that's one of the really, really bad ones, right? So when we think about these worthless behaviors, I want you to just think about how much time do you spend doing some of these behaviors? Can you identify for yourself? Can you see yourself doing some of these behaviors? And if you can, just type yes in the chat box. Procrastination and internet social media surfing are the big ones for you. Yes, Ryan, I see that. I see that. Absolutely. I'll tell you how to connect with me at the end of the scope for sure. Thank you so much. So yeah, if you can identify yourself in any of these behaviors, then I want you to just ask yourself how much, thank you, Samantha, so much, how much of your time are you really spending, you know, on these behaviors that's smothering your dreams? Watching television, let's take that for a moment. I watch television, but it's very limited, right? And when I do watch television, I'm really selective in what I watch. I usually want to watch something that's either funny, uplifting, right? My husband's a big horror television person that loves to watch horror movies and stuff. And nothing wrong with it, but I just choose. I can't do it because it stays in my mind, and I'm real careful about what gets in my mind. So I limit my time that I watch television. I have a couple of programs that I call my guilty pleasures, right? I love Iyanla Vanzant, of course, right? Fix My Life. I love Raising Whitney. I love Sweetie Pies. I like, what is the one that just went off? Another Tyler Perry one. The Haves and the Have-Nots. I like that, right? And If Loving You Is Wrong. I love those. So there are some that I watch, but it has its place and a time, right? So me being an entrepreneur, I know that there are times when I have to work my business, right? Yes, everyone needs a coach. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're a spiritual life coach? Great, great. Yeah, I have a coach too. I mean, I'm a product of my product. Everyone needs a coach. Everyone. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Terry. So, the thing you have to understand is that there's a place and a time for everything. Even with internet surfing, you have to be able to discipline yourself, right? And allow yourself some time to do that, but you can't let that overtake your dream, right? You have this dream that you want to accomplish. You have goals that you want to accomplish. You have a destiny that you have to accomplish because that's what you were created for, right? You're put here for purpose. And so if you allow these worthless behaviors to overtake you actually spending time building and working on your dream, then you're never going to get to that place that you're trying to get to in your life. All right? So everything has its place. Everything has its place. So all of the items that are on this list, right, they all have something in common. They all have something in common. Can anyone tell me what they have in common? What do you see that they have in common? I'm going to take a sip of water, and you guys just tell me, what do you see that all of these things have in common? Yeah, they're worthless. Absolutely. Absolutely. What else do you see and you think that they have in common? I'll give you a couple of things. Distractions. Absolutely, Terry. Absolutely. Distractions. Yes. Poor time management. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. I like those answers. I like those answers. Here's some other things that they have in common. They make us feel good, right? They make us feel better, right? And their habits, absolutely. Absolutely. But here's the thing. They do nothing to solve the source of our stress or boredom. They give us a momentary gratitude, if you will. Like surfing the internet, you get caught up on Facebook, you know, you're surfing your timeline and seeing what's going on over here and what this person's doing over there. And so it may make you feel good for a moment. It may make you forget about the things that you're procrastinating on. It may make you forget about the thing that you seem to think is so hard for you to do for a moment, but it doesn't get to the root and solve the real problem, which, remember what I said at the beginning, right? It sure does not fill the void. Absolutely. What I said at the beginning is we're doing these bad habits because we're either stressed or we're bored. So it doesn't solve either one of those problems, right? So recognizing your worthless behaviors on this list, right? Can you see how that habit doesn't really accomplish anything other than making you feel better temporarily? Right? When you think about doing it, Ryan, you said, you know, surfing the internet is one of yours. Can you see that it only solves the problem temporarily? That's all it does. Right? So the solution is really to replace these habits with something healthier and something more productive. So if you know that you're trying to eat healthy, you're trying to shed those, you know, couple of extra pounds, release those pounds or whatever, you have to replace eating junk food with something that's going to be healthier. If you know that you need to spend more time cultivating your dream and your goal, you know that you have to replace surfing the internet with something more productive, or watching television with something more productive. So think about this. If you're trying to release that extra weight, right? What would you feel like? What would your body feel like if you choose to actually go for a run every time you were bored instead of eating junk food? What would your body feel like? Can you just like put that in your mind and just think about what would that feel like? Better yet, what would your body look like if you decided, I'm just going to go for a run every time I get bored? I'm not going to eat cookies and candy and everything, right? I have to put down the cookies. Terry, you are not alone, honey. Let me tell you. I told them at the very beginning, I'm a sweets fanatic. Anything sweet, that's me. Cookies, candy, cakes, whatever it is. But I know that if I made a decision to replace eating junk food, right, with going for a walk or going for a run, right, or getting on my elliptical that's right here in my house, right, right, then it would replace that habit and my body would look better, right? That's why I got rid of my cable and replaced personal development. Very good, Samantha. Very good. And that's what you have to do. You have to replace these things with things that are more healthy, and these habits with things that are more healthy and that are more productive, right? Here's a better question, especially for you entrepreneurs. What would your bank account look like if you could find something better to do than go out and buy things that you really don't need? What would your bank account look like? What would your bank account look like if you replaced some of these things with more productive behaviors that moved your business forward? What would your bank account look like? Right? Here's something that happened to me probably now about 5 years ago. This is when you really know that you don't need anything, okay? I went into, I think I was in Macy's, and I don't even remember what I went in the store for, but I got in the store and I'm standing in the middle of the store, and for the life of me, not only could I not remember what I came in there for, but the revelation hit me that I did not need anything. Anything. I had a closet full of clothes, over, I'm almost ashamed to say, don't judge me, but I'm going to tell you, over 300 pairs of shoes, okay? I didn't need anything. Anything. And so that's kind of when I got my revelation of, okay, just because it's there and just because it's on sale doesn't necessarily mean that you need it, right? And so I changed that habit of mindless shopping. And so, of course, my bank account looked a whole lot better because I wasn't out just spending money on stuff that I really didn't need. But the other side of that is what I really want you to look at, especially if you're an entrepreneur, is what would your bank account look like if you did more productive activities and behaviors, right? I got rid of cable and replaced personal development. Yes, Samantha, absolutely, absolutely. And what does your bank account look like as a result, right? Very good, because you're doing the personal development, which is going to help you really grow in your business and grow towards your dream. Right, so what if you could just really jump right on a project, right, instead of procrastinating? How would that feel? How would that feel? What would your life look like if you could just really get the projects done, get them off your to-do list, and just do them and not procrastinate anymore? Right? We all have things on our to-do list that we need to get done that we've been carrying and carrying and carrying. Absolutely, Samantha. Less stress. You would have less stress, right? Which means then you would not turn to some of these worthless behaviors to handle your stress level, right? So here's the 4 tips that I want to share with you on how to actually change your bad habits. Okay, can you guys see that? Number 1 is this. Choose one habit at a time to change. One habit at a time. We have a tendency to try to look at the big picture and try to change everything overnight. Rome was not built in a night, right? And you can't change 4 or 5 bad habits at one time. You can't quit smoking, quit drinking, eat healthy. You can't do all that at the same time. If you think you can, you're delusional, right? And you're only stressing yourself out more. So choose one habit at a time to change, right? You can work on the other habits that you need to eliminate after you've completed the first one. Tackling one at a time, number 1, it's going to help you not be as stressful, but it's also going to increase your odds of success. So one at a time. And take the very next step is take small steps. Take small steps. Start small. Right? So even turning to the new habit for just, let's say, 5 minutes is progress. And you can build upon that. So if you start small, let's say that, one of your bad habits is that you do waste time and you procrastinate. So let's take one task and start with one task and say, okay, I'm going to spend 15 minutes on that task every day this week. Just 15 minutes, maybe even just 10. Start small and tackle that. And then next week you can increase it by 5 minutes. And here's the thing, if you do not, make it to work on it for 15 minutes every day this week, don't condemn yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Just keep trying. Never, ever quit. Never quit. And if you keep trying this each day or each week, you're going to start to see improvements. Right? Number 3 is this. Be aware of what precedes your bad habit. What's your trigger point? Right? If you can notice, thank you, Ryan, if you can notice what happens immediately before you feel the urge to engage in a bad habit, right? You can use that trigger as a sign to start doing a new habit. So pay attention to what happens before you do the bad habit. What are you feeling? What are you telling yourself? What is occurring that makes you go to the bad habit? For me, I know that when I'm working at home, when I am faced with doing a task that I have been procrastinating over, right? Because I feel like either, it's too hard or I don't know enough to do it or whatever excuses I'm giving myself in my head, I know that when I look at the task that needs to be done, the feeling that comes up is, oh boy, I got to do this task. Then the very next thing that happens is, well, I'm going to take a break. Well, my break is going to the kitchen. And then I go to the kitchen and I get something unhealthy to snack on. Right? So if you notice what precedes the bad habit, then you can stop it early on and you can become the expert on your patterns. Learn your own patterns. Okay? Number 4 is this. Find a new habit that you enjoy. So if you don't like going for a walk, right? It's not going to be effective for you to try to use this as a new habit. If you don't like running, don't try to stick that in as a new habit because you're not going to do it, right? Find something that you enjoy doing and you'll have a much better chance of success. So here's what you need to do. Brainstorm for as long as you need to find a suitable replacement to your bad habit. Okay? Don't rush yourself. You don't have to, go crazy trying to figure out, I got to stop this tomorrow. Take it one step at a time. One step at a time. So learning how to deal with stress and boredom effectively is the key to becoming successful and accomplishing your goals. Remember, those are the 2 main things that cause you to fall into bad habits. Stress and boredom. Right? Learn how to deal with those, and that's the key. Bad habits are not only a waste of time, but they can also take us further away from our desired destination, away from your dream, away from your goal. So I want you to start immediately and replace at least one bad habit this week with one better habit. I want you to start this week, right? Getting started is always the hardest part. But what you'll find is when you take the first step, the rest will be easier. I want you to find a more effective way to deal with your emotional discomfort, right? And the quality of your life will improve dramatically. So my assignment for you this week is take one bad habit, just one, and replace it with something that is more productive or more healthy. All right? And I'm going to join in with you. So for me this week, what I'm replacing is I am not going to, let's see, what will I replace? One bad habit. Mindless munching on junk food. So here's what I'm going to do. I do like vegetables. So instead of going to get something sweet, I'm going to go have a cucumber or something, a vegetable. I have to have a vegetable. Okay? We can do this together. You can do this. And so this week, that's what I want to encourage you to do. All right. So that has been my training for tonight. I thank you guys for being here. And remember, if you want to connect with me, if you want to, dig a little bit deeper on how you can eliminate these bad habits so that you can have the dream and the life that you desire most, make sure that you connect with me. Here's the link where you can reach me to set up a free 30-minute mindset makeover session. I would love to connect with you. Make sure you do that so that we can talk about what needs to happen to move you out of the bad habits, right? And to move you closer to your dreams. Now I'm going to try and turn this around again. I don't know how successful I'll be. There we go. Technology has been acting crazy tonight. Thank you, Samantha, so much for putting that back up again. I may have to lift this up a little bit. There we go. All right, guys. And so, I'm still here with my with my grays showing and everything, but I'm yours tonight. I just, tomorrow's shampoo day, so forgive me. But cucumber, that don't sound enjoyable. I like cucumbers, Orion. I really do. I really do. I like them. So cucumbers with apple cider vinegar. I love that. But I just choose not to eat it when I can have a cookie, right? But here's the thing. I don't have any cookies in the house. I did not buy any this week because, again, that was a way of making sure that they're not there. If they're not there, I can't have them. So I am holding you guys accountable this week. I want to know next week when we come back together, I want to know what was the one bad habit that you chose and what did you do? What habit did you replace it with? Right? What did you do to replace that? So make sure that you do your assignment because I'm going to hold you accountable. All right? So thank you guys once again for connecting with me. Remember, go to bit.ly 30min session 16. Oh, thank you, Samantha, for reminding me. And next week, I'm going to do this at 7 o'clock instead of 7:30. I think it's just a little better timing for me. And I do have like another call right after this. So next week, meet me here at 7 p.m., right? 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you supporting me and being here. And don't forget to catch me tomorrow for Live at 5. We'll see you then, guys. Bye.